One common thing you would notice about South Korean crime thriller movies is their extreme brutality, which goes beyond the expectation of an Asian movie that audiences are familiar with. You are probably thinking what kind of extreme we are talking about, so this is the kind. This us to question that is Korean understanding of morality is more nuanced, since their depiction of morality through these movies' characters are very conflicting, because it blurs the line between antagonist and protagonist, meaning good guys are not exactly good and bad guys are not bad either. So why do Korean characters hover on this thin line of morality? In a detour through lots of resources about South Korea's practice of morality, we come up with a very interesting feature. In South Korea, people's understanding of morality is based on circumstances, which is regarded as traditional Korean morals and ethics. And this understanding of Korean ethics is ruling over Western ideas of morals that are based on absolute principles of right and wrong. This ruling of Korean ethics is more evident when it under themes like vengeance. Korean directors often turn the brutality of the eye for an eye testament to justify that morality can be viewed accordingly to their circumstances. Generally, characters are more driven to a bloodlust quest for revenge, whereas the old-time eye for an eye testament allows the audience to appropriate such actions like this.
상황에서도 금자는 자기 총의 유효사거리를 결코 잊지 않았다.
Or this. Or maybe even this. Stances like revenge, as long as it gives the serve you right payback feeling that the audience feel fitting, no matter how immoral and malicious these actions are, it is still justified. A justice lawyer turns to be a barbaric murderer, intelligence agent transformed into a cold-blooded hunter, a political henchman sawing off a journalist's hand. Koreans' justification for permitting such immorality draws from a Confucian concept named Yuri. Yuri embodies principles of righteousness and justice weighing on moral fitness in a given situation. Well, to put it simple, if the audiences were in the shoes of the characters, they would do the same thing. Therefore, the brutality portrayed here will be accepted because the audiences see it as a reflection of their own values. Imagine what would you do to the murderer of your beloved. Another method that Korean filmmakers use to portray their nuance of morality is narrating the characters to make the audiences accept their views of morality. Korean filmmakers play with the idea of justice by their own hands, along with the excessive use of violence. This idea of justice through violence is for characters to redeem a moral balance that they know cannot be restored by any legal system. However, violence in Korean films is surrounded by controversies. The first is that while it is uncomfortable and often comes under fire as bio-raising from critics in the US, this violence would appear satisfying to some. Talking about uncomfortable. When it comes to violence, Korean has their own narrative codes. One of that is the violence being up close and personal. Another reason that makes Korean violence both uncomfortable and satisfying is because of the Yuri concept that I have just mentioned before. That, if audiences were to put in the same context of characters, they would act the same. Therefore, as far as the narration progresses, audiences still see those acts as personal doings rather than illegal crimes. The second controversy is the violence tendency of characters. More than 10 times they choose to disregard any laws or moral codes just to go ahead with themselves. The cause of this violence tendency is the aftermath of Korean history. Historical events like Japanese colonization or the Korean War are like traumas that still haunts Korea until today. They believe justice is something that must be taken by violence through their own hands, and they demand equal paybacks from those that put them through traumas. Over the course of our movies, we come to a conclusion that the nuance of morality practice in Korea is inclined to being subjective and constrained in terms of the way Korea accepts the aftermaths of their compassion for adventurers. They are viewing from a conditional aspect that the adventurers are doing what they do out of pain, loss, and endurance, and for that, their actions constitute rationality. On another note, if such mercy is granted on a regular basis, the adventurers will be let loose and in turn can threaten the security of the nation. As insufficient as the system is, one should still edit themselves accordingly and have faith in the authorities.